Trump says Gaza war is over, but the bombs haven't stopped falling. Netanyahu delays the vote, Hamas cries betrayal, and tanks still fire as ceasefire headlines flood the air. So, is peace hours away or already dead on arrival? Despite American President Donald Trump's flashy announcement, and several Hebrew-language news outlets reporting that the ceasefire in Gaza had gone into effect with the signing of the agreement, which was slated to have taken place in Egypt at noon on October 9th. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office told the Times of Israel that the halt in fighting will only begin after the government officially ratifies the agreement. The Israeli government is scheduled to vote on the measure at 6 p.m. local time. Senior Hamas official Mahmoud Mardawi wrote on his X account that disagreements over what prisoners Israel will release as part of a deal to free hostages in Gaza are threatening to derail the deal.
It appears that Netanyahu is seeking to sabotage the ceasefire agreement before its implementation by backtracking on the lists of prisoners in an attempt to undermine the understandings. This step reveals his intentions regarding the remaining issues related to withdrawal, reconstruction, and the opening of crossings back and forth, etc.
Moreover, Hamas spokesman Hazem Qassem told Al Jazeera Arabic that Israel had begun to manipulate the dates, the lists, and some of the procedures and steps agreed upon in the ceasefire agreement. Qassem claimed that Netanyahu was doing this to show the people that he is the one who controls things and is the one who moves and manages them. Qassem explained,
"We are in contact with the mediators to oblige the occupation to comply with what was agreed upon and not to allow it to procrastinate. There was talk with friends about a ceasefire at noon this day, but the occupation, for internal considerations, is postponing the announcement to other dates."
The Hamas spokesperson concluded by stressing that the occupation must abide by what was agreed upon, and we call on the mediators to work to oblige it. Meanwhile, as the world waited for the ceasefire, Palestinian media reported that the IDF had deployed tanks to the Rashid coastal road to prevent Palestinians from returning to Gaza City and the Strip's north. Footage showed Israeli tanks firing shells near a crowd of Palestinians gathering in the area. Earlier, the IDF warned Palestinians that returning to Gaza City is still extremely dangerous, despite Israel and Hamas reaching a deal for troops to pull out of Gazan cities and for fighting to halt. Al Jazeera reports said Israel had attacked several locations in the past few hours, with the Israeli military confirming that its forces would not carry out offensive operations, but only withdraw once the ceasefire takes effect. For Palestinians, the cessation of the fighting and Israeli air raids will give a real chance and window for relief, but at press time, people were still waiting to see the ceasefire take effect and to witness a full Israeli withdrawal from Gaza. The war-ravaged enclave's health ministry claimed that at least 10 Palestinians, including 2 aid seekers, had been killed and 49 injured in Israeli attacks on the Gaza Strip in the past 24 hours. In a first public appearance by a senior Hamas official, since the Gaza ceasefire deal was reached, Hamas official Osama Hamdan told the Qatari Al Arabi TV channel in an interview that Israel will pull out militarily from all populated areas in Gaza, including Khan Younis, Rafah, and Gaza City. Hamdan said the withdrawal will take place on October 10th, since the release of hostages requires arrangements on the ground and freer movement for Hamas operatives, meaning Israel must retreat first. Hamdan, who is in Qatar and did not attend talks in Egypt, confirmed reports that under the ceasefire agreement, 250 prisoners serving life sentences and 1,700 Gazan prisoners detained during the war will be released. The Hamas official, however, refused to say whether senior Fatah leader Marwan Barghouti and Popular Front leader Ahmad Saadet will be among those released, noting only that Hamas submitted the list to the Israeli side according to the seniority and prominence of the prisoners. Hamdan stressed that the agreement will only come into effect once it is approved by the Israeli government. Israel, on the other hand, said it did not intend to release Barghouti.
Has Israel agreed or refused to release Palestinian prisoner Marwan Barghouti? I can tell you at this point in time that he will not be part of this release.